April is Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month, but this April is shaping up to be like no other April before. That's why the Wicomico Child Advocacy Center is shifting away from their traditional awareness and fundraising campaign to focus on something else: family isolation and its relationship to child abuse and other forms of family violence. Cheryl Bissell is the coordinator with the Wicomico Child Advocacy Center, and she joins us. Thank you so much for being here this afternoon.
Thank you, Lisa. Do appreciate you inviting us back and to talk about child abuse, because it is definitely taking a different twist.
Yeah, absolutely. Social isolation, this is probably something that families aren't used to.
That is true. I mean, we tend to be a very mobile, very active, out in the community type of society. And so we're having to make significant adjustments in our home, which is generally a place where we touch base, what have you, has now turned into a major hub. All activities are being done there. Our jobs, our school, or we're looking for jobs, or we're trying to manage finances, figure out the food, all of that. So our home has taken on a different look right now.
And I think we should make it clear from the beginning, we're not suggesting that social isolation in of itself is something that can cause family violence.
That is absolutely true. We are not suggesting that at all. They're just that, you know, families are making the best of the situation. Certainly there's a lot of creativity, a lot of, you know, now coming together around the table, game nights, things like that. So, you know, there are a lot of positive outcomes as a result of this family togetherness. But on the flip, the newness, the novelty may wear off. People are adjusting and to changing times and things that they're just not used to. And then we have vulnerable families that have already had some challenges with child abuse, child neglect, when they were under more traditional lifestyles. And now you add on all these different complications, and social isolation is making some families potentially feel that they have no support network out there. And so it's just exasperating the situation. And it's not just child abuse, it's domestic violence and also neglect and maltreatment of our vulnerable adults.
So let's talk a little bit about families who are maybe struggling with, I guess, this too much togetherness. What advice do you give them?
Well, the first thing certainly is, and it's obvious, it may not be easy, is actually take a break. Get away from the situation. Say, look, we need to take a breather 5 or 10 minutes. Now that sounds easy, but again, if we're all in our homes, you may not be able to do that quite as easily. Maybe you need to further isolate yourself. Go behind a closed door. It may mean a bathroom, because maybe we just don't have enough space in our home otherwise. Maybe it's time to go out and take a walk. Certainly do a lifeline. Reach out to family, reach out to friends, reach out to a neighbor, ask for some help to just even be able to vent. And you may be feeling that frustration, and so your friends, neighbors may be doing that as well, so you could actually benefit each other.
Sure.
So that's one idea. You also want to make sure that you have your children be able to get outside and get some fresh air. And I actually posted something on our Facebook page last night. It was something that a school-based therapist from a neighboring county produced, and it's a mood tracker. And it's a really cool, easy thing, so that as a parent or caregiver could sort of assess where they're at each day, or they could work with their child to figure out, well, where's the child? Or even better, the parent, caregiver, and child work together and they assess where they're at today and then what they may need to do tomorrow to make some adjustments.
Sure. Okay, so let's say there's a family or a caregiver in our neighborhood or someone we know, and we suspect maybe something is going on. What do we do?
Well, first, if you want to just be able to, as a neighbor friend, reach out, touch base, say, hey, how are you doing? Is there anything I can do to help? Maybe I can drop off or arrange for some food or some distraction for your family. You want to be able to also, if you can have eyes on the child, a voice to the child, and make sure that they're okay. But if you're really concerned that there's some level of abuse occurring or has occurred, we need you to report that. You know, you can call the 410-713-3900 number to report a suspected situation of abuse. Sometimes people are hesitant about doing that. They're like, oh, the child's going to get taken from the home. That happens in very rare instances. Most often, we're able to address some other underlying contributing factors and provide some additional support services for the family.
All right, good information. Shara Bissell, coordinator with Wicomico Child Advocacy Center. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today, and stay safe.